Hiya, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges of Blaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Corabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leva Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
You ever, almost forget how to do things?
All the time. I'm surprised I still have a job.
Because I legit, besides choking on my water, it's not water, it's stiffer than water. It's water. I almost forgot what button to push to make the picture disappear.
My picture?
No, I can't let yours disappear because I'm too anxious, as is everybody that's already in the chat, whether or not you're going to be fuzzy. Or if you're going to be, what they call you, sideways. Yeah, sideways Ace. Or you could be sideways fuzzy. Would that be suzzy or sideways? I'm so confused. Anyway, welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. This is episode 147. We are 3 episodes away from a major milestone that neither one of us ever thought we would reach because we were going to be done at number 5. Anyway, right. Welcome in. If you're watching us on YouTube and or Facebook, be sure to jump into the chat, say hi so we know you're there. Smash that thumbs up if you're in YouTube. If you are on Facebook, hit that like button so that we know you're there. And if you're just watching and don't want to talk, that's fine. At least say hi. Jump in the chat, say hi, because all the regulars are there. The first in the room prize tonight goes to the Viper. Who came in at 6:30 because he's eager and ready and patiently waited for 30 minutes.
And he had all that time to think of ways to zing me.
And it's already started. He already has. Lots of our regulars are in. Of course, Mama TBT's in. Mrs. TBT, Mrs. Ace is in. Kathy's in. Of course, the Viper. Everybody's in. And of course, the moderator extraordinaire, or as we like to call her, fired every episode, Natalie. So welcome in. I know she's feeling a little under the weather today. I have a question about that term. Isn't everybody under the weather?
All the time.
Yeah. You were always under the weather.
When did that become a colloquialism for being sick?
I don't know. What was that word you used?
Colloquialism.
Yeah. Okay. Good job.
Do not see if that's accurate. I may have just pulled that one out.
You pulled it out from under the weather.
Exactly, because it was under the weather. Yeah. Natalie. Just so you know, I attempted to lock my screen before we started, and it was a portrait lock only.
Yeah.
So that didn't work for me. So it is unfettered, unlocked. This is the Wild West. We don't know what's going to happen.
What is with you and all these big-ass words tonight?
Which one?
You just said unfeathered or something.
Unfettered.
Okay, is that like a reference to Kevin Fettermine or something?
No. We're unleashed. We're without restraint.
Going rogue, as Natalie so eloquently put it. There's my big word, eloquently. Viper brought something up just a couple messages ago of the 700 he's already posted. I want to have the chat join me in thanking you and Mrs. Ace for showing people what 30 years of a marriage can bring you. So congratulations on your anniversary.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm still thought it was very thoughtful that you put your song lyrics on your social media post, because I was trying to figure out which highway to take and who was taking which way.
Why was that confusing?
Oh, I never said it was confusing. I just didn't know who was looking for what road, so it was good. But no, that's awesome. That's something you don't.
That's a classic wedding song. The Search is Over by Survivor. It's a great song.
Well, you should have put like the whole song up, not just certain lyrics, because it made me like, I got to get a roadmap.
Well, no one wants to read the whole song, and only certain
it's
lyrics
your
are pointed.
Post, by golly. If I wanted to read it, I would have sung it while I was reading it, and had that
certain lyrics are more poignant than others, and
true that.
That's a we talked to Jim Peter about that bridge specifically when we had him on. Great song.
Yeah. My wedding song for my last wedding was "You're All I Need" by Motley Crue. One of my absolute favorite wedding songs.
Oh, that is a love song of love songs.
Woo! Right in the heart.
Our wedding song was actually "Everything I Do for You" by Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
That was I was pushing for "Forever" by Kiss.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. But I got outvoted, and I'm marrying that person, so she wins.
Yeah. Ours was officially "I Just Wanna" by Kiss. So it's good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, because that falls under so many things. I just want to do what? Get married.
Yeah, duh. Walk down the aisle. No. My favorite one was actually by White Lion. Not When the Children Cry. That was for my first marriage. I don't remember what it was. Something as we walk the Golden Mile. Something. I don't remember. It was a White Lion song. It was good. I just don't remember
that one.
Hey, I'm gonna have to Google it now on the Google.
Mike Tramp,
Yes.
White Lion's lead singer. He just released. Speaking of White Lion, he just released the third album of re-recordings of White Lion songs. Yeah, just now. Like I've not listened to any of those, but I'm intrigued.
That's what my question was going to be, whether or not I was reading something about it earlier, and I wasn't gonna. I don't have it as one of our topics for tonight, but I was going to ask you either before or once we're off air whether or not you had heard any of it, because I don't want to ruin the classic White Lion songs by listening to them re-recorded and now, So I was going to let
something
you
tells me
big.
Something tells me these are either acoustic or reimagined or something like that. I would guess, because you're not going to imitate the Vito Bratta stuff on those anyway without Vito Bratta.
Yeah,
I don't think. I would have to listen to him, but I just heard that today. That was that the third one had come out, and I think it's kind of interesting that he's redoing them. But gives us White Lion fans something to look forward to, I guess.
My question is, well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I just was curious, like, why? Why is he doing it? Is he doing it to stay relevant? Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with those songs the way they were.
What if it's something to do with licensing, like the Taylor Swift thing, where if you re-record it, you own it?
Yep. Well, in her case, she had to change lyrics in every single song.
Just a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, it could have been, I think, 2 words,
right?
Whatever, but it was enough to make it
because
original.
Because one of my ones I like from her is "Picture to Burn," and she dropped the gay lyric in that.
Correct.
And I at first I thought that was a PC thing, but I think it's more to get in line with. It's 2 things. It maybe is a PC thing, and then it's also getting in line with that requirement.
Yep, exactly. Which I don't blame her. I mean, if it'd be kind of like having to re-record every episode of this podcast in order to own it.
Right.
and it's not happening. I'm sorry. There's some we can get rid of, but we're not re-recording them.
Did you see she's announced her 12th album getting ready to come out?
Yeah, you know me.
Did you see it was on the Kelsey podcast, right?
Yeah.
With Travis and Jason.
Yeah.
And I love Jason's very authentic reaction, like he didn't already know this was happening.
Right.
Like he's a little too excited, Jason.
The big thing now is everybody's going to like some of her past stuff, this last tour. What were the Easter eggs? And they're coming out like crazy. People are putting up videos. They're like, oh, how did we not notice this? How did we not notice that? And it's hilarious. There's I don't know if it was last night's show or if it's actually going to be tonight's, whatever. Jimmy Fallon, if you follow him on like TikTok, go to his post about this whole Taylor Swift announcement and listen to it. It'll blow your mind because of it's just the Easter egg stuff. It's ridiculous how all the numbers will match up to 12 and something else is a 13. And it's ridiculous. And I'm sure she's probably the one that said, here, this is what it was. This is what we did. This is why. And figured out. Absolutely genius. I mean, I'm just going to say that. It's just genius.
Whoever does that stuff for these acts, the Easter
It's
eggs
her.
and things, that's a full-time gig.
It's her. I would put money on that it's her. She's probably got a team. It's the Easter egg team.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and she gives them little things to work with, but
yeah,
I can't imagine she has that kind of time.
If she's got time to go to a Chiefs football game, she's got time. I'm just saying.
Well, sometimes you need a break.
Then have a Kit Kat. I don't know.
Well, okay.
Big, huge news. Just released within probably the last, I'd say about 5 hours, I think. I'm not sure what time this came out. Big news coming out in regards to one of the all-time best bands, legacy in their own name, all 17 members. But today, our president, the POTUS himself, in his first turn as the chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center, announced that KISS will be recognized as Kennedy Center honors recipients later on this year. The gala, I want to say this is happening in September. I could be wrong, but I think it's September. Anyway, well, they're not the only ones. Also included in this are Sylvester Stallone. Yes, Rocky himself.
Oh, wow.
Gloria Gaynor, vocalist, singer in her own right, and actor-singer Michael Crawford, as well as country music legend George Strait.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This lineup is epic. I mean, we've had Led Zeppelin, on Kennedy Center honors before, and that's when Heart, all these different bands, but I specifically remember Heart doing their rendition of Stairway to Heaven, and that's something to definitely look up on YouTube and watch, because when you're bringing tears to the eyes of the legends in Led Zeppelin, you're doing something right. The KISS announcement, obviously, I'm not going to say it sent shockwaves, but it's huge. This is the 48th Kennedy Center honors, the 48th. And the president basically said that the honorees are outstanding people, an outstanding group, just incredible. It takes place in Washington, D.C. in December and will air on CBS. Now, everybody's like, oh, okay, it's KISS. Which KISS?
Right. This is important.
Yeah. So, in an interview or whatever you want to call it with TMZ, they got statements from Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, of course, as well as Ace Frehley. And here's what they said. Gene Simmons, according to TMZ, said that Kiss is the embodiment of the American dream. We are deeply honored to receive the Kennedy Center honor. Now, before I go on to Paul Stanley's, you have to really look into what Gene Simmons said there about Kiss being the embodiment of the American dream. That is 100% accurate, especially those words coming from him.
Especially for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a guy, he came straight from Israel when he was little with his mother, and they had nothing. And Gene Simmons has worked his whole life. This is why he has the work ethic he has. And we joke about Gene liking money and things like that, but there's a reason that he's the way he is, and it's because America allows you to do those things. If you work hard, the sky is the limit. Gene believes that.
Well, this is the same guy that will tell you emphatically that the United States is the best country in the world. And this is why, like you just said, being able to come over here from Israel and have this American dream, which is Kiss, that we have all, grown to have a love-hate relationship for years, nearly 60 years.
Another guy that talks very similar about America is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Absolutely.
Whenever he gets a chance, he talks about how great America is because of the opportunity that if he showed up and worked hard, he could do anything. This is a guy that came from Austria from nothing, just to try to be a bodybuilder, and ends up governor of our most populous state. Yeah. Two-term governor. Could be, at the time, if we had changed an amendment, could have been the president because he's not, born here. But, he had talked about that, and he was pretty popular at the time. So, yeah, he talks about it a lot. So, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment that if you work hard, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, Paul Stanley kind of echoed the same thing. He stated, from our earliest days, Kiss has embodied the American ideal that all things are possible and that hard work pays off. The prestige of the Kennedy Center honors cannot be overstated, and I accept this on behalf of the long legacy of Kiss and all of the band members who helped create our iconic band. I think that is very telling when he says all of the band members who helped create our iconic band.
Paul has never shied away from making sure everyone knows that anyone that has been in Kiss, contributed to how big this band has become.
Right.
Whether it was the original four guys or whether it's Vinnie Vincent, or Mark St. John,
right.
Who stepped in on one record, and it's a great record, right? Animalize. He's never, ever shied away from giving credit to people.
Right. Absolutely. Ace Frehley was also contacted, and he called it a dream come true that I never thought would materialize. I've not seen anything lately or since this broke coming from Peter Criss, but you've got to think, with this being the Kennedy Center honors, where Kiss is right now in regards to, not touring anymore and all that, and just getting ready to do their thing in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a quote from Peter Criss here.
Oh, I have not seen that.
He says he feels so blessed. This is the greatest honor of our career.
Fantastic.
They did reach out to him. So go ahead.
Good. Well, that's just what I was going to say. If I hope it's all four. I hope it's everybody. Everybody that's still alive, of course. I hope it's all of them because they are all Kiss.
Well, I think that would be fair. The thing we always miss out with Kiss is a lot of times it's not the original four. Sure. In recent years, Ace has been a bit disenfranchised. Peter's been a bit disenfranchised. the farewell tour they weren't included on, and everyone was hoping they would be included. Um, but I would love to see. I'm with you. I would love to see everybody. Bruce Kulick, who was a huge part of the '80s sound,
right?
When they were putting out, not after Animalize, the records after that, and who if we can find Vinnie Vincent, that would be great just to have him there.
Yeah,
because no matter what you say about Vinnie, that guy is ultra talented, a fantastic guitar player, and even better, he's a great songwriter.
Oh yeah,
like honestly, in spite of taking off the makeup, which they did for Lick It Up, which was a big publicity thing, who else is more responsible for bringing them back than Vinnie Vincent?
Right.
Look at that record. That record is probably their best one of the '80s, outside of Creatures of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's due to Vinnie with his songwriting. A lot of it.
Yeah. My fingers are crossed. I hope we get them. I hope we get everybody. I hope everybody's well enough to do it. I hope everybody is invited. I just thought that announcement today was, I thought that was pretty epic. It's awesome. Hey, I can see you. You don't pull a John Cena on me. I can see you. One thing that we've been talking about for probably the last month, maybe 2 months, has been the Back to the Beginning concert. And we even reported on here that it had raised, nearly $200 million for charity, and blasted that, just how much, how badass that was and everything. Because it is. And of course,
we talked about that. We talked about it on the show a couple of times.
Yeah. And the stuff we let you guys know about is stuff that, that we read and we get from good sources. But it was 8 days ago, maybe 5 days ago, that Sharon Osbourne came out and has basically shot down the ridiculous reports that Black Sabbath's farewell concert raised nearly $200 million. It was just in the days after the July 5th event that the event's musical director, Tom Morello, he shared an Instagram post stating that roughly $190 million would be donated to charity from the concert. Excuse me. Billboard magazine, they also reported that it had raised $190 million. So everybody's all about this $190 million and everything. Hold on, pump the brakes. Not so fast, Batman. In an interview with Polestar, which is a music industry trade publication, 5 days after Ozzy's death, Sharon comes out and says that Back to the Beginning raising nearly $200 million is highly inaccurate. This is a quote from her. This is interesting. One of the things that's frightening me is all this press about how we've made $140 million and all of this. And I'm like, I wish we could have for one gig. It's just ridiculous. The different stories. I went on the internet. I should have just done this in her accent. I went on the internet the next morning and it was like 140 million, 180 million. And I'm like, where does this stuff come from? She continues, it takes a really long time to arrive at the final number that will be donated to charity, because we've had all the bands that we had come in and their expenses. Because even if the bands didn't get paid, there's still expenses.
Right. You had to fly them out, some of them.
Yeah. I'm sure some of them had writers, like, green M&Ms only.
You had the stage set that you had to build. You had rehearsal spaces. You have a lot of things that people don't count upon.
Right.
These people were donating their time. They weren't getting paid, but that's just one part of the expense of putting on a show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You got to you got to get everything there, and you got to set it up. You know, those people probably got paid.
Well, they also have to eat.
Right?
They
They
have to drink.
Right.
Sharon says that it'll take a good 6 weeks at least to get the final number. The writer for Polestar, the author, noted that these reports are not helpful for the Children's Hospital to see as they're waiting for that 190 million. Everybody thinks that they're going to cure everything with this much money, but not in the real world. And I guess I can see where that would be a big idea or a big thing. You're going to split this money between the charities that they had set up. And now it's like, well, it wasn't 190 million, according to Sharon, who knows, she could be wrong too. But I mean, was this just one of those things that it was just like, oh man, there's this many people, multiply that by this, and we've made this much money. That's what we've got. That's what we've got for these charities.
Right. And the math don't work like that.
No, not at all.
Well,
So it'd be interesting to see.
This was streamed live. So if you think about that, there's a cut of money going there. They're not getting all that money.
No.
That's going to go to the providers as well.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Well, think about when it's released, because that's going to be released on, digital. It's going to be released on Blu-ray, DVD, cassette, streaming, all this stuff, and yeah, it's just the way it works. But it's sad that it would come out with such a high number and then only to come out later. And I really hope Sharon's wrong. I hope that it's even more than 190 million, higher than 200 million that's going to go to these charities. But it's these stories where you get it to begin with, and then it's all of a sudden, maybe not. And it's annoying.
I think she's not saying it couldn't be 190 million. I think she's saying, let's not say it is when it might not be. Let's wait until we know.
Yeah.
I think some people get so excited about the goodwill that was fostered by this whole concert, right? We're a big tribute to Sabbath,
sure,
and Ozzy, and all that, all this goodwill, and they want it to be even more than that. So this number gets inflated. It's like a game of telephone. And someone says, well, I mean, look at all the people. Obviously, this probably raised 190 million. I mean, think about it. And then it becomes, oh, wow, Tom Morello said, or somebody said that's the number. No, somebody's just, shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
And just saying something.
Well,
like we all do.
Right. And then say big words. If you're looking to spend part of your $200 million, you're going to have your chance, especially if you like Eddie Van Halen, which I've not yet met anybody that doesn't. According to Rolling Stone, Eddie Van Halen's 1982 Kramer electric guitar will be auctioned this fall at Sotheby's in New York. The guitar was played by Eddie in 1982 and 83. And here's the kicker. If you're interested in it, it's expected to fetch between $2 and $3 million. So I am sure that Viper is already registering to vote.
If he had the money, he would want it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
I would if I had the money. Here's the thing: why is this being auctioned off? I wonder.
Well, this guitar has history. Okay, this wasn't just Eddie Van Halen's guitar. This guitar he ended up giving to his longtime guitar technician, who later on then sold it to Mick Mars, and Mick Mars used it during the recording of Dr. Feelgood, including Slice of the Pie. Who owns the guitar now? Nobody knows. But track it. Who did McMars give it to?
Oh my! This was not during one of the times when Mick Mars needed money, was it?
I hope not.
When people were swindling him out of all his money, and
right,
and then you have to sell this guitar, and what if he got lowballed? Oh my goodness! I bet he didn't get $3 million.
I guarantee he didn't, because he sold it. He didn't throw it in an auction.
What if he didn't sell it and just got taken from his property one day when he got locked out, and the girlfriend takes everything? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Poor Mick.
This guitar is amongst one of the most iconic and identifiable instruments, which, of course, it encouraged copies from other manufacturers, inspired generations of fans to, design their own instruments. This lot, which includes the guitar, also includes the factory Kramer case and a letter of authenticity from Mick Mars, where he states, "Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. It's a great piece of history." So it's okay. Who owns the guitar? Do we not know? Or is it really Mick Mars who needs the money now?
He needs more money. No, someone is being anonymous for a reason.
Oh, for sure.
It's probably the people that stole the Back to the Future guitar.
Yeah. If only they had a DeLorean and could go get it.
No, I'm sure they're being anonymous for a reason, and that's fine. But adds a little mystery to this whole thing, a little mystique.
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance that it could do more than $3 million. It was April of 2023 where another guitar that Eddie Van Halen had that he used in Hot for Teacher in that video, it sold for $3.9 million. So I think this one may be a little bit more iconic. So if you're in the Monterey, California area, it will be on display from August 13th, which is today, until August 16th. So you've got until Saturday to go see it. Interesting.
Do you think when they throw those numbers out there, like 2 million, 3 million, that's some sort of way to kind of prime the pump, so to speak, for potential buyers? Like they're already expecting, okay, this is going to go this much. I'm going to bring 5 million.
Well, I didn't see anything mentioned in here, but I would love to see what the if there's a bid minimum, or not a bid minimum, but if there's a minimum amount, like, they have to.
Yeah.
There's the word I'm looking for. You see it on all kinds of auctions.
A reserve.
Yeah. A reserve price. Yeah. That'll be interesting. And I'm sure it'll be up on their website at some point. Viper just put up a pretty interesting bit of trivia, and it says the most expensive guitar ever sold is Kurt Cobain's 1959 Martin D18E acoustic guitar, which was the one he played during Nirvana's MTV Unplugged performance. It fetched a price of $6 million at auction. And I really think it was whatever you think about Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, that whole thing, whatever, that is a piece of history. Not to mention it's a 1959 freaking Martin.
That's what gets me right there, the age of it. The guitar players, famous guitar players, fascinate me with some of their collections.
Oh, yeah.
The guitars they have. And it may not be like famous guitars, but vintage guitars.
Yeah.
I know when Gary Richrath passed, the family was left with a huge guitar collection to deal with, because he had so many of them, and I would have loved to have known what happened to those.
Oh, without a doubt.
And who knows what Eddie's got? I mean, this may be. I mean, we're seeing this, and we're seeing this iconic guitar, but because it's one he created and played and all that. But what's he really got? Man, can you imagine? I can't. It'd be crazy to think about what he's got.
This is part of the reason why I liked watching MTV Cribs. When they would go to a rock star's house and you would get to see all the guitars. The John 5, all the guitars he has.
Right.
Just
when we talked to Rick Emmett,
all that. Yes, exactly.
And behind him was row after row of guitar.
Yeah.
And I can remember wanting to ask him about the guitars, but the only person that would have cared would be me and you,
Right.
and Digital Viper. But yeah, just the collections, incredible.
Well, and think of how many of these are customized. That brings Kirk Hammett immediately to mind when he's got all of his horror movie, artwork done on guitars and stuff like that. It's just, some of the ones that you see that are in, a video of your favorite artist, you may get a chance to see those live. Look at the Every Rose guitar that Brett played in the video. That's another iconic guitar.
Right. Nancy Wilson's guitar that was just stolen and recovered.
Right.
That was handcrafted, hand painted. That was a big deal.
Exactly. I don't know. Drums aren't the same. Bass, they're not the same, even though there are some very iconic basses out there.
One, if you think about it, the battle axe that Simmons has.
Sure.
That's one.
Yeah.
I can name that, but I can't name a bunch of them.
No. If I sat and thought about it.
Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick, and his 6-neck guitar,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm going to find something to throw in an auction from here. I got a dog.
Well, I've got guitars, but nothing like that.
No, I've got a couple around here, and they will not fetch $6 million, $3 million, maybe $300. I don't know. I'm not sure. As we mentioned the Back to the Beginning concert, one of the things that you and I were harping on after it when we were given our review was the appearance of Steven Tyler. After all of the stuff that he went through, Steven Tyler made an appearance. He sounded phenomenal. The crowd was just going crazy. So that left a lot of speculation as to whether or not there was going to be a tour, whether, something was coming up because, they had to cancel so much after all this stuff that he went through. Another interview, this time with Joe Perry, who this time once again spoke about the possibility of Aerosmith at least playing one more final concert. And he said that he would bet that there's an Aerosmith show left. They didn't say shows, didn't say tour, which we'll get into in a second, but he said show. He also notes that, there's been talk about doing a documentary, which may end up being a show may end up being part of that documentary. He's been spending a lot of time with Steven Tyler, and this is the kicker here. This is the interesting part. He just doesn't want to tour, and he can't tour. That's all you got to say.
Well, that's the interesting part. The not wanting to, I kind of get that. You're 77. It's a lot. He sounded great. What was it? 2-3 songs he did?
Yeah.
Sounded great.
Looked
that
good.
Doesn't mean that doesn't mean he's going to sound good on a lengthy tour. And
40 shows.
They're going to require, like Brian Johnson of AC/DC, 2-3 days off. That's what they were doing the last tour, to give him rest and so he could be at his best. And that's what you want, right? So yeah, that part I get, but he can't tour is the interesting part to me.
Yeah.
What is that? What does it say about that?
Well, what is can't? Can't is I'm 77. He went through a vocal injury and had to cancel so many shows. That's probably the can't. He could do a one-off and do 3 songs at a concert for Sabbath, but it sucks. But I would take one more badass Aerosmith show with Steven Tyler over watching him, just eat it on a 20 stop tour.
Right. Here's the thing. You mentioned one show. and we talked about with the Back to the Beginning that Aerosmith would warrant something like that. What did Sabbath play? 5 songs?
Yeah, I think it's what it was.
I think so. Aerosmith could probably do more than that simply because Steven Tyler's healthier. Obviously he had the vocal injury, but he would have time. He's had a year now to build up. One show, let's say they do 10 songs. I mean, that's almost a full set these days, right? Some bands play 13. Yeah. You get 10 songs out of Aerosmith and then a big tribute and let Tom Morello set it up. Man, that would be a show. That would be a show.
It would. And then you could give $190 million to charity.
Right, because it would raise so much money. 190 minimum.
Yeah.
Now, and you would have a catalog because Aerosmith got a lengthy catalog to pick from. You would have not only that, if you wanted to do it for Aerosmith, you're going to have the Joe Perry stuff.
Oh yeah.
You could do. Whitford's got a band. You could throw a song or two in. There's all kinds of things you could do.
Yeah, I would love to see Back to the Beginning. I would love to see that start being a tribute.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's have it. And up next, Aerosmith.
Right. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. It's a brand now. We branded it, and now it's a thing.
Yeah.
And you have a group of guys that decide who's going to get the next one.
I'm going to go trademark that after the show so that way they have to pay me millions of dollars to get it.
Well, do it under our LLC so I get a cut.
Duh. Of course. Natalie was fired, so she doesn't get a cut. We talk about, these singers and all this stuff. This kind of leads right into a couple of stories. One of which is, they're both related, but there are reports coming out. I don't know how true they are. Can't confirm nor deny. But apparently Motley Crue is seemingly struggling to sell tickets for their Vegas show. And because of this struggle, fans are fearing that there's going to be a cancellation. I'm going to dive into this just a little bit. But basically, fans have noticed that hundreds of tickets for Motley Crue Las Vegas residency remain available on Ticketmaster's website, sparking discussions about the band's ability to fill the venue. A couple fans offered their perspectives, of course, and one of them says, there are still a ton of tickets available for the Las Vegas shows. Who thinks they'll make an excuse to cancel? And then somebody else chimed in and said, it might be the casino/promoter pulling any out clause. Even at half price, tickets don't seem to be moving. Or they could blame Vince's health while he still does dime store cruise shows in casinos 100 miles from any airport. The current ticket sales struggles come after the band already faced setbacks with their Las Vegas plans earlier this year when they were forced to postpone their originally scheduled March through April residency dates because of Vince Neil's medical issues, and he was advised by his doctors. So now, as it being scheduled for next month, is it going to get canceled? After the story I read earlier today, which is not this one, I wouldn't be surprised because Vince Neil just canceled his next solo show, which was scheduled in St. Louis for next Friday. Not this week, but next Friday. So we're talking almost...
So it's a week ahead of time and he's already canceled?
Yeah. This is after he made a big comeback just a few weeks ago.
Right, just last week.
Last week? Yeah. And he was gone for nearly a year. He comes back and just canceled the next solo show. If this is not true, we'll be the first to come back on here and be like, yeah, that's not true. He didn't cancel. But River City Casino and Hotel posted a post. They posted a post on their social media that says, due to unforeseen circumstances, the upcoming Vince Neil performance has been canceled. Refunds will be made available at the original point of purchase. Vince Neil's been rumored to have been compromised due to a medical issue, and speculation as to what really happened has been rampant amongst fans for many months. But of course, as you said, just like a week and a half ago, he was on stage.
But can you, okay, in a world where we hear official word of what's going on with people, they get out in front of the story, right? Especially if it's a medical thing.
Right.
We haven't heard him say zilch about what this is, and that's led to all this speculation. From I don't know what all of it is. The one I read most prevalent was a stroke. He had a stroke. No confirmation. No, nothing. So now it's. I mean, I don't know. People are saying maybe he's got cancer. I don't know what they're saying, but if he doesn't feel like he's up to it, he shouldn't do it.
Oh, 100%. I don't want a half-assed Vince Neil. This isn't, from what we saw, I don't even think this is half-assed Vince Neil. This may be quarter.
I don't even want him to jeopardize his health.
No.
Because that Vegas residency will be there. It'll be there next year. Just because you've got 4 other guys twiddling their thumbs, they can figure it out. They've got time and money. They can do whatever they want. They just can't be Motley Crue without him.
Right.
So I'm not so much worried about the state of, what's going to happen to Motley Crue. It'll be there. It may be best to just go ahead and cancel it. If there's that much worry and speculation and concern about Vince Neil, then
sure.
Why put the pressure? Why put the pressure on the guy?
Yeah.
The problem is you can't stop him from going out on his own.
No, of course not.
We cancel the residency, and then a week later he's like, there's a bar in Topeka that needs a gig.
Yeah.
I feel better now. I feel okay.
Hey, there's a garage in Indiana that he can go to that I know of. I'll take it.
Right.
But I'm with you. Why jeopardize anything, especially if this is a health issue and that's why he had to do it. If it's just because of the rain or, he doesn't want to get his feet wet or something, okay, whatever. But if this is health related, no.
Are you picking on Steve Miller?
No, I would never do that. Not at all. My thing is just don't jeopardize any shit just because you're Vince Neil. And if it's your ego, stop. Let your legacy be what it is. I don't want it.
Right.
I don't want any of that.
Right. And again, a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever, that Vegas residency will be there.
Yeah.
They're that big. I'd rather know for sure that he's okay before I did anything.
Absolutely.
And just not even mess with it.
What do we got? Where were we at for time? We're we got about 10 minutes. I want to save the big story for last because I think that's a huge one that we'll hit on. These other two that we'll talk about real quick are just pretty basic. This is not something that we would normally talk about because they're not 80s metal. However, they are an 80s band. Months ago, maybe a year ago, Ace and I talked about this. There was a court battle going on between Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Big thing. I just saw a picture the other day. It said Hall & Oates, and Natalie will probably remember it because I think she commented on it. It's a great picture of Hall & Oates. But anyway, there has been a new status on this lawsuit between Daryl Hall and John Oates. And according to Rolling Stone, It's been settled quietly.
Very quietly.
Very quiet.
Very quiet.
Very quietly. Very quietly. They'd entered arbitration following an attempt by Oates to sell his stake in the Hall & Oates partnership, and Hall didn't like it.
Yeah, to an outside company. That's one of those outside companies that claim your name, likeness, image, that sort of thing.
I thought it was Kellogg's.
Like everyone's been right, like everyone's been doing. How do you do that though when you're a duo? I mean, how do you do? I mean, because the music
it's a
is not
50-50 thing. It's 50-50. You want to sell half of the Weekly Pour podcast, that's fine, because it's with TBT and Ace. It's like Hall & Oates. You've got 50%, I got 50%. So you want to sell your half, well, that's fine. But I don't want you to, so we're going to go to arbitration, and then we're going to sell it quietly.
Right. I just don't understand. I mean, when you sell it, are you giving them, that company, the rights to use your music?
Right.
Well, then you would have a problem if you're Daryl Hall, because now Kiss on My List is all over every cleaning aid commercial.
Right.
People are mopping floors, to Kiss on My List, and you didn't agree to that.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Introducing the new Volkswagen. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be.
Right.
Show tunes.
I mean, maybe he needed the money, but maybe that's it. But I wouldn't like it. Not at all.
You know what we need? Back to the beginning. Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates. Dude.
We can do it.
I am a fan. That's stuff from when we were younger that is nostalgic food for my musical soul. So I love Hall & Oates. I love Huey Lewis and things like that.
Yeah.
So I hate to see this, because I hate to see people like that fight, because in your mind, as with all rock bands, the partnership is perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's perfect. They all get along until they don't, and then we realize what it's really like.
Exactly.
And then one guy trashes the other, and it's just terrible.
Yeah. I'm skipping the one story, and we're going to spend the rest of the time on the last one. There was a new interview with Waste Some Time with Jason Green. Fred Curry from Cinderella was asked if there could ever be a Cinderella reunion of all the surviving members of the band. For those that remember, Jeff LaBar died back in 2021 at the age of 58. The Cinderella drummer said, as our friends at Blabbermouth transcribed, well, we all still play our instruments, and Tom is out touring. Eric is doing a benefit. Yeah. And he's and Fred is playing on Billy Morrison's record. So we're all pretty active in playing. We have our chops up. So if something had to happen, if it was like, oh my gosh, you guys can save the world, we need to have you play, there's no reason we couldn't. That's all I need. That's all I need right there.
Well, what, for us to speculate to the end what's going to happen?
Absolutely. He went on to say that he's still in contact with Tom Kiefer and Eric Brittingham, and had just talked to Eric the other day and spoke to Tom often. We're brothers.
So no hard feelings.
No, not from what I can read, hear, see, smell. So there's a possibility we may get this reunion before we ever get Sebastian Bach and Skid Row.
Get this. Further on in the article, Jeff LaBar's son Sebastian plays guitar in both Saliva and Tantric. There's your guitar player.
Absolutely.
Now, the reason we talked about this, you sent this to me over the weekend. The reason that it's interesting, not just because it's Cinderella, but because who is going out on tour in 2026? Poison.
Hall & Oates. Oh, Poison.
Poison's going out. And we've talked about who could go out with Poison and really make an impact. One of them I talked about was Rat. Another one was If. Sebastian got back with Skid Row.
Yeah.
I think this might be bigger.
I worry about Tom's vocals and him being able to do a rock show. I mean, when we went and seen him, he did great. Fantastic. It was a great show, but it was a little bit more intimate, in my opinion.
Sure.
I worry about the stadium tour type of atmosphere that you're going to get from a Poison tour. I would love
it's going to be arena style, yes.
Yeah, I would love it. And having this, I'll take them up in Brown County. Give me Cinderella at Brown County. Give me Cinderella down at Paoli, whatever that place was.
Yeah.
I'll take it. This right here, it's going to happen. We will get Cinderella back. I'm saying it now, August 13th, 2025.
The only thing holding it up is if Tom likes the way things are with his band doing his own thing, calling the shots.
Well,
but you would have to be pretty set in your ways to say no to. I mean, how long has it been? It's been a while.
Yeah,
since Cinderella had played together, and I don't see why they couldn't. He could also say it's not the same without Jeff.
Well, and they have said that before. They said if they go, it's not Cinderella. But you throw Jeff's son in the mix, it's like Cinderella and the stepsister. It's still family.
Bands do it all the time. AC/DC does it with Malcolm Young's son playing in the band. Clarence Clemens passed for Springsteen's band, who plays saxophone. His son, his nephew, plays saxophone. And, it happens all the time. So that would be great.
Yeah.
And if we're speculating, I'll throw one more thing out at you. I mentioned, we talked last week, there's been no Skid Row news. Nothing. It's been so quiet. It's been scary quiet, right?
It's been Hall & Oates quiet.
It has. And what if they're in the background right now working out a deal with Sebastian?
Don't you dare.
They're working out a deal with Sebastian Bach. Bringing him back in the fold for one last run. What if?
Don't tease me with a good time.
There's no reason they haven't named a vocalist by now. There's no reason.
Maybe they're waiting for somebody.
For who?
Daryl Hall.
There's a Daryl Hall.
Yeah.
Well, that would be great.
Or John Oates. They could be Skid Oates.
Skid Notes.
I don't know.
I just think I don't know that that's happening. There's no evidence of that. I'm just saying it's been quiet.
No, but it's very good speculation.
Have you seen some of the recordings out there with Sebastian on some of the shows he does?
Yeah, of course.
He's still a little bit of a hothead here and there. A little bit of a rogue on the mic occasionally. But he also has said that he has matured immensely. He's in his 50s now. Come on. He's got to mature a little bit. I doubt he's going to jump out in the crowd and punch somebody. I hope not.
I don't know. I just noticed, I got to throw this out there because I just noticed in the chat a name that we've not seen. And she said hi. So I want to say hello to Brittany, who was in the chat. And I like speculating because I think this is going to happen. And I think we should sponsor it.
What, Sebastian Bach returning to Skid Row?
Yeah, I'm down.
Well, I mean, if we can invest in that, yeah, let's do it.
This show's over, at least for today. But I can't let it go without reminding you that if you want to let us know how you think, unless it's about money for a loan or our car warranty, or you just want to call and scream, be sure to call or text myself and Ace at 747.
I don't need to remortgage anything.
8977 747-333-8977. If it's a good message, we might play it on the air during the show. If it sucks, we're just going to make fun of you. If it's just a text, and I'm going to tell you that even our moderator sent a text, she's been blocked. But call us, text us. You know how to email us. 747-333-8977. Other than that, we'll see you next week. I'm TBT. That guy's Ace. We'll see you later.